back to our second episode, which we're going to be covering Increment, which is a new product that we've come out with, which is great for data analysts. Ganesh is going to be giving you a bunch of information on it, but I actually have a lot of questions since I just came back. I'd love to know, what is Increment?
So for many years, we had only one product, which is a unified API. And this is a product for developers. So if you know how to program, you can integrate with the unified API and build, the multitude of use cases that we support, which is like NFT explorers and wallets and taxation tools and investor dashboards and so on. But there's this other persona, which are crypto analysts. And one of the magical things about blockchains is that everything is public. All data is on chain. So now you can build all kinds of interesting analysis that analyzes either the health of a protocol or anything about the token holders, things that's just not possible in a traditional world. Like no company has their cap table or how much they own or what is the holding period. That information is not usually public. But here on the blockchain, everything's transparent. So Increment is a business intelligence tool that lets you ask questions of that nature and really anything that's on chain. So we've been building this for about a year now and excited to see this go out to the market in the next coming months.
Oh, wow. So is there a specific, time where you were inspired to actually building it, or why the team wanted to build it in the first place?
So the magic of the Covalent infrastructure is this unified schema. So normalized data models. So you have the same shape across all blockchains, right? So that's really the magic of Covalent. So now these data models are used by developers to build developer like applications, but you can also use SQL to query these data models, right? That's built within the core of Covalent from day one. So it just made sense for us to introduce a product to an adjacent space for crypto analysts. We have our hands open and invite all data nerds lovingly. So crypto analysts are included in that family.
In terms of where it stands in the market, what are the differences between like other products that are out there, like the main things that differentiate Increment?
So there's a lot of products in the crypto data space, if you will. And two of the popular ones are Dune and Nansen. And they're really good products, and they've been around in the market for a couple of years. And this is quite differentiated in that sense that it's not really it's like somewhere in between. So in Dune, you type SQL, get charts, you can run any ad hoc queries. In Nansen, it comes out with pre-built dashboards. With Increment, we have built a modeling layer that basically schematizes all of the blockchain data.
So while I was away, I saw that you guys had launched a new Alchemist Bootcamp. Are you able to tell us a little bit more about it, or how others can actually get involved?
Absolutely. So let's think back to the context on why we even launched this bootcamp. This was around like the September, October, November timeframe when we had just come off the 3AC liquidations. I think FTX was coming out as the fiasco with FTX. And the idea here was to tell people that these blockchain applications are unstoppable and they continue to function. There's really no challenge. The fraud with FTX was mostly a off-chain fraud, just a traditional fraud, nothing to do with crypto or blockchains or any of that stuff. And so here, what we wanted to do is we wanted to recruit a few hundred people and teach them core data analysis skills so that they're useful for the Web3 space. What ended up happening is over 1,000 people applied. And this is not just 1,000 people just hitting submit, but there's 1,000 people actually recording a 1-minute video on why they want to be part of the Data Alchemist Bootcamp. So this is a bootcamp. It was a 4-week program, and there were 4 modules. And after each module, if you don't finish the take-home assignment, you're kicked out of the bootcamp. So literally, like, it's a pretty steep learning curve. I think about 300 people entered the bootcamp, and about 125 people actually graduated bootcamp. So pretty good retention rate. So that tells you how motivated these alchemists were. The beautiful thing about this is that for anyone who completed the bootcamp, we paid them $2,000 as a reward. So I don't think that was the primary motivation. These are not airdrop hunters. This is like really hardcore data analysis and essays that you had to write. So it's quite difficult, and still over 100 people completed that bootcamp. So I would say that was a big success. They used the first initial version of Increment, and I did say in that intro call that Increment is a pre-release. So if you break it, you get to keep the pieces. And people did break it, so we had to take Increment offline for a week to fix stuff. But it was really fun. It was very intense, very fun, and I think the testimonials from these alchemists will attest to that.
That's crazy. So you can actually get like real life experience to be an analyst, going through this boot camp with people who have expertise in the space, at the same time getting paid. Like you can't find that in a lot of places. Education for the win. But the last question I had is that a lot of people I'm sure are curious about is there a roadmap that you guys have for Increment?
So Increment is going to be available as a public beta in the next couple of weeks. So if you sign up for the Covalent platform, you'll have a choice to go down the Increment path. And I think just stay tuned. There's also going to be the second cohort of the Data Alchemist Bootcamp. One of our teammates who runs the Alchemist program is actually going to move from Australia. Luke Harriman is going to move from Australia to Vancouver for the months to run the bootcamp because it's pretty intense. And the funny story is that Luke got into the space because he was one of the original alchemists a few years ago. So, paying it forward really helps, and it just keeps the ball rolling.
Excited to see you, Luke, in the future.
We all are.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all the updates with Increment while I was away. We'll be providing more details in the description if anybody wants to take a look at it. And if you want to contact anybody specific from Increment, we'll provide those details at the bottom as well. If you'd like to join the bootcamp, again, follow Covalent_HQ on Twitter or subscribe to our channel for more information. Bye, everyone.
Take care. Bye.